All right, I thought I'd do a quick little introduction to angles, just knowing the parts, the types of angles, how to read them, and how to write them. And, well, let's get into it. Let's get into the parts first. So, this is an angle. An angle is a measure of rotation around a vertex. So, the vertex is extremely important, and you'll have two legs or arms. They can be segments or rays. These would be rays. And the interior of the angle, you'll have a marking like this that shows you what the angle of rotation that's being talked about is. The interior is in between those two rays, and the exterior is anything on the outside. So if I had a point over here, like let's say that's point K, that would be in the exterior. Whereas if I had a point over here, M, that would be on the interior. Now, all right, so those are the parts. The vertex is the most important thing to remember. That's the point around which the rotation is occurring. We're measuring the rotation between the two rays around this point. All right, now we have acute. That's less than 90. Anything that's less than 90 degrees, a 90-degree angle is a right angle. It's going to be marked like this, and it's going to have a little square to show that this is exactly 90 degrees, 1/4 of a full circle, because you got to remember, a full rotation is 360 degrees. So if we had something like this, a full rotation would be 360 degrees. So 1/4 of that is 90, and that's called a right angle. An obtuse angle is an angle that's more than 90 but less than 180. And an angle that's exactly 180 degrees like this one, that's called a straight angle because it makes a line, and all lines, of course, are straight. Now this one gets missed a lot. It's called a reflex angle. It's more than 180, less than 360, and it's going to be looking like this. Most of the time here we're going to be talking about the angle on the inside, but the other angle that's created is called the reflex angle. All right, so those are the types of angles. Now let's talk about reading and writing. Okay, so if I have this diagram over here, this symbol means angle. The first letter is going to be a point on one of the legs. The second letter is going to be the vertex. And the third letter is going to be a point on the other leg. So angle BAE, that's BAE. That's the angle that's marked with the number 2. So you could also say it's angle 2. It's this angle right here, right? That's angle BAE. So this is the notation that means we have an angle, and then the three letters. Now, sometimes if you have a case like this where there's only one angle, there's actually two. You got the reflex angle and this little angle right here. If it's like this, you could say KJI. And of course, you could do it the other way, IKJ. Oh, sorry, IJK, like this. The only thing that really matters is that middle letter is the vertex. So you could say this is like that. I'll rewrite it again, KJI. But since there's only one angle we're talking about here, in that case, we can just use the vertex, no problem. You can't do that here. So for example, let's say I wanted to talk about, let's change colors. Let's say I wanted to talk about this angle right here. I couldn't say angle A, because look, angle A, there's an angle with the vertex A over here. 2, 3, 4, there's a bunch of them, you see? You even have you can have an angle that actually crosses two of them. Like I'll show you that in just a second. But so if you have an angle like this, it's ambiguous. You either need a number, for example, this one would be angle 4, or you have to use three letters with the vertex in the middle. So if I wanted to talk about this angle right here that's green, that would be angle CAD or DAC. Either way is fine. They're both the same. Thing that's important is that middle letter is the vertex. Now, let's say I wanted to change that, and let's say I wanted to have this angle, this right here, both of them together. It doesn't matter that this is cutting them, this ray AD. This angle right here would be FA, and you see the other part is C, or CAF. Either one of those is absolutely fine. So if you have an ambiguous case where you could be talking about more than one angle, you can't just use the vertex. You have to use three letters, so one letter from each of the legs and the vertex in the middle. Or if it's numbered, like this one right here says 2, you could say angle 2, which is that angle right there. So anyway, that's a brief overview of what angles are, the types of angles you've got, how to read and write them. I hope it was helpful, and I hope you guys have a good day.